family. If you're in or near Columbia, South Carolina, you've got to visit the House of Hathor, located at 6319 North Main Street. Open Tuesday through Saturday, it's your one-stop shop for African clothing, African masks, natural soaps, incense, candles, jewelry, and more. Plus, they've got a beautiful event space. Owned and operated by Baba Rutaski and Mama Neterma Canute. When you support the House of Hathor, you support the culture. When you support the House of Hathor, you support the movement. When you support the House of Hathor, you support the people.
Greetings, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to the House of Hathor's Libation, Liberation Lifestyle Ceremony, where we continue to bring forth a message from our ancestors that continues to uplift, inspire, encourage, to enlighten us. And as we continue to live, love, and learn our processes of life that governs our thoughts, words, and our actions, that we become and we continue to instill, we continue to sustain and maintain ourselves as the temple, the altar, and the vessels of our ancestors. So let us bring the ancestors forward as they continue to ignite the energy within us, as they continue to enlighten us to our true selves as spiritual beings having human experiences. Let us bring the ancestors forward. Let us continue to celebrate this day as the ancestors have given us our thoughts, words, and actions, and that the energy, the great ancestor of all ancestors, continues to bring forth the breath of life within us. We call upon our ancestors far and near, fathers and mothers of our fathers, mothers and fathers of our mothers, to bear witness to all that we have done. And it is by your example that you continue to inspire us towards reclaiming our ancestral minds, regenerating our ancestral spirit, liberating our families, our homes, and our communities, and restoring our greatness as a people. We pour libation to bring into our midst your venerable ancestral spirit, radiating your great wisdom, your courage, your dedication, and your unyielding commitment to victory by any means necessary. It is in the honor of our Creator, the great ancestor of all ancestors, our mothers and fathers, our sisters and our brothers, our children and their children, our grandparents, great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents, our aunts, uncles, cousins, friends, and elders of our community, that we pour this libation in your honor. In the honor of our Creator, the great ancestor of all ancestors, and the various manifestations of the creative spirit, we pour libation. Ashe. For our esteemed ancestors who laid the foundation for human civilization and who provides the wisdom to which we live and the models by which our lives are guided, we pour libation. Ashe. And for our esteemed ancestors who suffered the atrocities and the horrors of our Ma'afa, but yet demonstrated the victorious power of the ancestral spirit by maintaining their dignity no matter the cost, we pour libation. Ashe. And for our esteemed ancestors who survived and made it possible for us to be here today, that we continue the fight of our ancestral liberation and our vindication, we pour libation. Ashe. And finally, for our children and their children and future generations of our ancestors to come, that they too in their time will vindicate our race from all adversaries, and that they will continue to imprint upon the world the great genes of our ancestral humanity, we pour libation. Ashe. May your venerable spirit engulf this occasion to reaffirm our ancestral canity. It is done. Our great ancestor of all ancestors is satisfied. Ashe. 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 Dua Neter. So Hotep, peace and power to you all this day, my brothers and sisters, that the ancestors and our great ancestor of all ancestors have given us the breath of life this day, that it continues to sustain and maintain our values, our interests, and our principles. For all of our ancestors that live within us, they continue to bring forth our energy, our spirit, and our soul of the interdependentness, the interconnection, the interrelationship that we share with them, and the interactions that we commit, submit, and admit our lives to. For this day is a day of celebration as we continue to sustain and maintain our thoughts, our words, and our actions as we continue to reflect and project our inversions of ourselves and the version of ourselves that we present to life and to nature, to our families, our communities, to everyone that is within our circles of life. And when we're talking about today, we're talking about the inversion that we project and we reflect upon in our version of ourselves. And that is shown in our commitment that we have within our lives. It shows within our commitment that we are building, we're manifesting, we're generating, we're reflecting and projecting our truth upon the world. And as we continue to live that life, as we continue to be that life, that we do not waver in our stance. We stand firm on our values, our interests, and our principles that has been given to us through our ancestors. And when people recognize your true inversion of yourself that you're presenting, that you're going to lose some people that you used to have around you because they're trying to figure you out. They're trying to wonder, where are you and who is the person that is standing before them now? Because you are definitely projecting yourself upon them, this inversion, this new inversion, because you're growing and you're finding out that others may not be growing. They have an arrested development about themselves that they're trying to figure out, why are they not growing the same way that you are, or that they become stagnated in their version of themselves. And as you continue to grow in your version, in your inversion, because your inversion is your spiritual essence of yourself. Your inversion is your soul of your ancestors that continues to lead you throughout your way of life. Your inversion of yourself is one that others do not have a connection to. And so they're trying to figure out, why are you now this person and not the person that they're used to? Because they had some type of control over your version of yourself, because you had no connection to that inversion at one point of your life. But now that you have a connection, an interconnection, you have an interrelationship with your inversion, because that is the one that you were born with. That is the one that is a part of your intentions. That is the one that is a part of your purpose for living. And because now you are walking in that inversion, you are walking in that purpose, those intentions, that light. That is your enlightenment within yourself. No one has a connection to it because you are not presenting that particular self to everyone. And as you continue to live, as you continue to learn, as you continue to love the inversion of yourself, that is the one that you move forward with. That is the one that you're presenting to the people now, because you have now you have an enlightenment about yourself. And that light shines. That light moves before you even come into the existence of anybody else that's around you. That inversion of yourself presents itself. And people don't know, they're scared about that, because they no longer have that connection with you that says that they can control your thoughts, your words, and your actions. And not that they really had it before, because once you have a greater standing on your inversion, that means that you're moving through the spirit in human form. That the balance of life that determines everything that you have about yourself, that is the one that sustains and maintains your growth. That is the one that sustains and maintains your thoughts, your words, and your action, your creativity. Your creativity is what the ancestors have always wanted you to have within yourself, so that you can stand firm on that, and that there is no consequences that man can now place on you, because you're walking through spirit. You're acknowledging that spirit that lives within you. And you are also venerating that spirit that you have within you. You're in your purest form of yourself. And we're celebrating that today for all of you that recognize that true divinity within yourself, that anointment and that ordainship that has been placed on you. We're celebrating it today because we all have it. but we all have to acknowledge where it's coming from. And it is coming from our ancestors. It is coming from them that came before us. Since the beginning of time, we are now acknowledging it, and we're not allowing people to determine our worth. We're not allowing people to invest in us. We're allowing our spirit to invest in us. People no longer can make you move in a certain way based on your emotions, because your emotions now are going towards what you're supposed to create and manifest in the likeness of your spirit. This is what we're celebrating today. And as we continue to celebrate every moment, every day, we continue to do the work, because we are coming out of all of those things that we have been working on in the past few months. These past few months, the months that came before, those were the months that we really had to take a hard look at ourselves to find out where we are, where we need to be, and where we're going. And so now this moment in our life, we are now coming out of that. And now it's time to do the next work that we are supposed to do for this up and coming year. So let us celebrate this day. Let us celebrate these next few months. Because when the new year comes about us, and we're not talking about the new year that people are normally celebrating, because that's what man celebrates. Spirit celebrates upon the seasons. Spirit celebrates when new life comes about us. So that means that we have some more work that we have to do so that we can reflect upon it and we can project it forward in the up and coming months after the new season comes to us. Not what man celebrates, but what life celebrates. So that means that we have some months about us now, that new version or that new inversion that we're projecting forward in our version. When that comes about, then that new strength that we have, because our enhancements, our increase, our enrichments, our insurance that the ancestors give us to bring that forward, because there is a protection that we have about ourselves when we present the new inversion of ourselves in our versions that we present to life, to nature, to the people. So let us celebrate. Let us celebrate everything that we have accomplished in our lives that has brought us forward to where we are today. So we say peace and power to you all, my brothers and sisters. We leave you now with a cleansing so that we can all be absolved of any negative energy that we have absorbed from the people that we have guided, from the people that we have talked to, from the people that has come to us for our thoughts, our words, and our actions, because there has been an exchange of energy anytime that you listen, anytime that you speak, and anytime that you have shared yourself with others. We have to cleanse ourselves, absolve ourselves from that exchange of energy that we have had with people. So we leave you this day with this message from our ancestors that continues to be the foundation of life, that determines our worth, that determines our investment that they have given to us, and the interest that we share with life and nature. Ashe to our ancestors.
O great ancestor of all ancestors, we call upon you this day that you will cleanse us of all negative energies that surrounds us, that you will break all work of negative magic that is against us, that you will take away from us all envy, evil, bad luck, and invincible enemies, and that you will bring protection, peace, and prosperity into our lives, into the lives of our children, our children's children, and our children's children's children, into the lives of our families, our homes, and our communities. We now lovingly and peacefully retrieve our energy from all that we have communicated with. We send them their energy back and any energy or energies attached to them. We now cleanse, clear, close, and lock all gates, portals, and access points in the spirit of our ancestors and in the spirit and in the energy of our Creator, the great ancestor of all ancestors. Ashe, 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 Ashe.